All right. I officially hate YouTube because they won't even let me listen to my own music that I like or want to review. So instead, I'm going to just have to tell you the songs that I like off of the albums that I like. Um, so we're going to be using a grading scale. A grading scale. Okay. So let me show you the grading scale. All right. We're going to review 10 albums, and you guys can be the judges of whether my judge is good or bad. Because personally, I don't give a crap about your opinions enough to care, but obviously, you people value your opinions. So I'm going to let you tell me your opinion by leaving it in the comment. Yay! So fun. All right. Let's get going. Boom. Okay. All right. So we're going to review Breach by 21 Pilots. So here we go. Number one, City Walls. City Walls deserves a pretty good ranking, I would say. Um, I would say 21 Pilots gets a very good. I would say very good for City Walls. It's definitely a very powerful track for sure, and I think that there's a lot of good good changes between the bridge and also after the chorus. I like the changes, and I also like the rapping style. But I think for people who wouldn't know what their storyline is, because they do tell a story, there's a whole storyline that they made as a band. So I think the rapping part might not make a lot of sense for a lot of people. So that is a downside to why it's not a masterpiece, but the lyrics are tied to the audience, and the audience is very dedicated to that storyline. So if you don't follow the storyline, then how are you supposed to know what he's talking about? So I think from that, viewpoint, instrumentally, masterpiece. Lyrically, probably more than good, but it's not the best. So very good is what it will be getting. Next, we have Raw Fear. Raw Fear is definitely a powerful track. It has nothing to do with the storyline. So um, I would say that I would give this song most likely probably a excellent. And the reason I say excellent is because, guys, they literally have a bridge to the chorus that lasts 30 seconds. And it's very repetitive, but it's repetitive in the good way. Because when you hear when you hear the drums in the background, the drums are like very bouncy, and they're very heavy, but they're heavy bass wise. So whenever you hear it in the headphones, you're gonna hear that nice solid kick drum that's very bassy, and then you're gonna hear that really popping snare. So I'd say instrumentally masterpiece, lyrically probably good. It's not the best, but it's good. And then another aspect that I want to add to this is producing, because City Walls was not very well produced, but I didn't really care because I could hear everything well enough that it didn't matter. This one, producing wise, is excellent, so it gets an excellent. Not a masterpiece for sure. It's not a masterpiece, but it is excellent, and I would put that in one of my top to listen. And same with City Walls. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is Drum Show. Drum Show, I would say, gets probably a more than good. Actually, you know what? No, it gets. I don't know. It doesn't get very good. Oh my god, this one's a tough one. I'm gonna put it at more. No, it doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right because some of these other ones don't. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put very good. It is outstanding, but I've listened to it for a while, so that might just be me being biased to some of these other songs. So I think for a listener that's first time listener listening to 21 Pilots, yes, this is very good. Producing wise, it's masterpiece. Lyrically, it's quite good. I mean, it's not great. There's nothing like there's nothing slick about it. But the coolest part for sure is Josh Dunn's vocals on it and the screaming, leading back into the verse. Leading back into the chorus. So, masterpiece instrumentally, producing wise, masterpiece. But I would say the lyrically is probably just quite good. Nothing really over repetitive, so that's nice, but nothing really complicated. Nothing being dealt with that's very complicated to talk about, which is a key to Tony Pod. And next, leading into that, we got Garbage. Now, this is one of the ones where I would say it's probably good. It's good, okay? Because if I'm being honest, instrumentally, it's quite good. You know, it's like it's just like it seems like it's repetitive over and over again. Like the "I'll that show if your arms reach," like that part. I like that part. It's good. But the best part of it is when he goes like, "Ride out with wonder. Do you know which name it's under?" I like that part the most. I think this one is the one that goes to lyrically, it's a masterpiece, but instrumentally, it's fair or quite good. It's just too bland. There's nothing there that's really speaking out to me. But lyrically, it's super easy and super, you know, hard to deal with. Sometimes you have those days in life where you feel like garbage and you feel like, you know, it just puts you in this mood where you want to like lash out at everyone. And then leading into that, the contract. The contract is similar like City Walls. This one is probably excellent in my opinion. It's better than City Walls, but it's not the best. It's not a masterpiece. Lyrically, more than good. It has way too much storyline for people who don't understand it to, follow and understand. But instrumentally and producing wise, it's masterpiece. So it's excellent, in my opinion. And then we get to Downstairs. Downstairs, this one might be a masterpiece. This one might be the masterpiece. Yeah, this one's probably going to be masterpiece in my opinion. I think lyrically, it's definitely a masterpiece. Producing wise, it's probably very good, but I don't know if it's masterpiece. It's probably. I'm trying to think of other ones. Nah. No, I'm gonna stick with masterpiece. Lyrically, it's a masterpiece. Instrumentally, it's a masterpiece. The only thing it lacks is producing wise. It's a little bit heavy on the bass. I would want the bass to be toned back a little bit, but I think that's just adding to the atmosphere of the song. So it's masterpiece. Then we get to Robot Voices. This one is probably one of the ones that I'd probably skip, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna put fair. This one's one of the ones I would probably skip. The reason why I would skip it is because it's not really their song to begin with, and yeah, you can't really put that on 21 Pilots. It's my blanket or wait, what was it called? Like blanket approval or something. Whatever the artist that made it. It's not 21 Pilots. It's 21 Pilots rewriting and restructuring the song. So I would say it was a good job done to restructure it, but it's still a fair song. It's not like outstanding. And I personally wouldn't listen to it more than a couple times because it's too repetitive and it's quite annoying after a while when I listen to the like original version. So that's probably why I get some distaste, is because I just don't like the actual version itself. Then we get to number 8, Center Mass. Center Mass is definitely one of those ones that is outstanding. I would give it a excellent, actually not, no, masterpiece, because personally, I think it's masterpiece. Lyrically, it's masterpiece. Production-wise, masterpiece. And instrumentally, it's masterpiece. Yeah, it's masterpiece. It's not excellent. It's masterpiece. This one's probably the masterpiece of the whole song. The whole album. This song is completely a masterpiece. And lyrically, it has a very deep meaning with dealing with I think with death. Really, center mass is where you aim, um, you know, to shoot somebody. But yeah, it's interesting. It's weird that he uses that metaphor as a relation to death. I think it's dealing with like the I don't know. What could it be dealing with? I don't know. It's up for interpretation. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really know what that means. But then we get to number 9. Cottonwood is this one's like a beautiful song too. I'd probably give this one. I'd probably give this one like very good. Um, instrumentally, it's whatever. Probably good. Lyrically, masterpiece. But production wise, is very good. So yeah, I'm gonna put very good for number 9. Cottonwood. Yeah. And then One Way. One Way. This one's actually probably one of my favorites. Excellent. Excellent. Pretty much excellent for all 3 of those categories. And then number 11. Days Lie Dormant is like a solid song. I'd probably give Days Lie Dormant very good. And then Pally is definitely a masterpiece. I'm not even that's not up for debate. Yeah, that's just not up for debate. Yeah. All right. And then Intentions. Okay. This one's poor. This one's just a reversal of an old song, and then the lyrics, new lyrics are written over it. It's low effort. I don't think it was intended to be like an actual, you know, like an actual song that would be considered like to listen to. I wouldn't listen to it personally. Um, like I don't think they intended it for it to be like a song that you'd listen to more than once. I think it was just like a wrap up to the whole storyline. So yeah, there's that ranking of Breach. We're gonna move on to new ranking. We're gonna move on to the Neighborhood's new album. And that one was released November 14th, and it's called Ultrasound. Ultrasound came out November 14th, and it has 15 songs. This one's kind of hard, actually. I think all of these actually are really hard. So that was the one that we're going to do next. So stay tuned tomorrow when we do it at 5 p.m. See ya.